Hello everyone and welcome back to YOU.NECK Stitch Designs. In today's video I am going to show you this brilliant project. In this video we will make 2-in-1 from neck warmer to bucket hat. So for today's project, where we are going to work with Aran weight yarn, you can also use chunky yarn. So as you can see here, with chunky you may need a little bit more as it is much thicker, but it looks amazing with chunky or Aran weight yarn, and that ribbing looks brilliant with any weight yarn. So I would go for chunky or Aran weight yarn. So it's totally up to you, but I will be using Aran weight yarn for today's project. Also 5mm hook. You will need a yarn needle, a pair of scissors, some measuring tape and some clips later on. So first we are going to create this neck warmer with ribbing, and as you can see, then we will add 3 rounds of double crochet. So this one I have made in chunky yarn, but it is too dark for you to see on camera, so I had some leftovers of my Aran weight yarn, so that's why I decided to do it in Aran weight yarn. So first we are going to work on the ribbing, then we will add 1 round of single crochet, and then we will do 3 or maybe more, if you like, more rounds of double crochet for neck warmer, but also as a bucket hat. So before we start, I am going to give you the measurements. So for the width of this ribbing part, I have 16 centimeters or 6.5 inches, and remember I worked with Aran yarn for my project. Just make sure you have the same measurements. So for the length I have about 16 inches or 41 centimeters. So you can use any yarn, chunky or Aran, but just make sure your width and length is exactly the same like mine. So, and it's also very stretchy, this ribbing. Now we are going to count the rows. So if they go like this, then you have 2 rows, as you can see here. So we will count 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 and so on. So for me I have 70 rows in total, and it's very stretchy as well. But if you are using chunky yarn like I used here for this dark gray, you may need less rows. So you can totally personalize it. Just make sure when you wrap this ribbing part around your head like this and stretch it slightly, this should be nicely like so and comfortable, because if it's too big it's gonna fall on your eyes. If it's too tight it's gonna be like lifting off slightly. So just make sure when you place it on your head like this, it's comfortable. So to start, first I am going to show you how to work on this ribbing part. So if you are using chunky yarn, you will start with the chain of 22, but the measurement should be exactly like I showed you at the start, and the hook will be 5.5 millimeters hook. So I am working on Aran weight yarn, so it will be a little bit thinner, but I will need to get exactly the same measurement as I did have at the start. But because I'm using thinner yarn and a smaller hook, 5 millimeters, I will chain 26 to start. So first we are going to start with the slip knot. Hold your yarn and like so, wrap it around your 2 fingers and create a cross. Go under this first one on top of the second one, pull it down and twist your hook. And this is your slip knot. So now we are going to chain 26 if you are using Aran weight yarn like me, and also 5 millimeters hook. So to start, we are going to yarn over and pull through the loop like so. So that's your first one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and so on. So you will chain 25 like so, and then you will add one more. So altogether you will have 26, but the one more will be your turning chain. So once you have 25 plus 1, altogether 26, we are ready to start row 1. So we are going to work into the second one from the hook right here, and we are going to work single crochet. Insert your hook, yarn over, bring it up 2 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through 2 like so. And this is your very first single crochet, and you can place a stitch marker into this very first single crochet. So place your stitch marker, because if you're a beginner it will be much easier to see which one is your first one. And now we will work single crochet into each chain across. So into the next one, work single crochet again. And for this row 1, you will work like so, single crochet into each chain all the way across like so. Continue like this, and once you get to your very last chain, I show you what to do next. And once you are done with your first row, you should have 25 stitches. And this is your very last stitch. Now we are going to chain 1 and we are going to turn our work. And we are ready to start row 2. For row 2, we will do something a little bit different. Now we are skipping this chain of 1, and for row 2, we will be working single crochet but back loop only. So as you can see, we have front loop. We are skipping this first chain, which was our chain of 1. So this is our back loop. So we have front loop here, and we have back loop. So for this row 2, we'll be working under the back loop only in each stitch across. Once you get to your very last stitch right here, you will work under the full stitch, and this way you will have nice edge and much stronger edge as well. So chain 1 and skip the chain 1 and start to work into this stitch here, single crochet back loop only for this row 2. So now we will work single crochet back loop only like so all the way across. Nice and easy, not too tight, not too loose. So continue working like so. As you can see, we're creating this beautiful ribbing. So you will work like so all the way across. Once you get to this very last stitch, where is your stitch marker, you will work under the both loops, single crochet. So continue working on your single crochet back loop only. So I am finishing this row 2, and as you can see, I have single crochet back loop only here. And then where is my stitch marker? That will be my very last stitch, and I will work single crochet but under the both loops. So it means front and back loop, like this. And this way your edge will be very nice and straight and also much stronger. Oopsie daisy, let me just do it again because I kind of didn't went in the right position, and also the yarn was splitting. So there you go, single crochet like so. Now we are going to chain 1, and as you can see, the edge is really nice, and we will always finish each row with single crochet under the full stitch. So we chain 1, and now we are ready to start row 3. And we will repeat this row 2 over and over again for as many rows as you need. So again, we chain 1, we are going to skip the chain 1, and we will work single crochet back loop only for the whole row. And once you get to your very last stitch, you will work under the full stitch. So again, you will repeat this row 2 for the entire part of this ribbing, like this, single crochet back loop only. Once you get to your very last stitch, you will work under the full stitch. So just to be clear, I will show you one more time. So I have single crochet back loop only, and as you can see, this is my very last stitch, and I will work single crochet under the both loops like so for each row at the end. Chain 1 and turn your work. Now you will repeat single crochet back loop only for as many rows as you need. So once you wrap this ribbing part around your head, it's a little bit stretched but comfortable. So I have this very last row here, and for me with this Aran weight yarn I had 70 rows. So remember, if you are working with thicker yarn, you may need less rows, but remember you should have the same measurement, or when you fold it and place it on your head, it should be a little bit stretched but comfortable, like this. So this is our ribbing part finished, and as you can see, the both sides of this ribbing are looking exactly the same. So for next part, we are going to fold it in half, and we are going to close it with the last row right here. So to sew, I like to fold it like this, so the row is the last row you completed, it's away from you, like this. So the loop should be on top. Just make sure your yarn won't get tangled like mine. So the last row is away from you and on top with the loop. So next I'm going to bring my clips. I love these clips, they are super good. They hold your yarn together, or your yarn pieces, so they won't move because the pins won't stay in. So these are super cheap from eBay, but really good. I just enjoy working with them so much. They are super handy. So one more thing I forgot to say, once you finish your last row, please don't chain 1. So you will find a corner closer to you on that part, but we have only half stitches. On the opposite side you have proper stitches, so find a corner closer to you where we have those half stitches, and one last stitch on the opposite side to match it. Okay, so I have corner here, and then I will place that loop on my hook from the opposite side like this, and I will pull it through that first corner closer to me like this. And now I'm going to chain one like so. Next, now this end you can hide as you go when you are creating that last row with single crochet, or you can just hide it later on if it's annoying you too much, or if it's just too in the way. So find the next stitch on the side closer to you, and then find the proper stitch on the opposite side. So we are matching the stitches on both sides like so. So on the side closer to me you have only half stitch, but on the opposite side you have a proper stitch, and work single crochet again. Find this, or if you want you could go even little bit lower if you don't like only half of those stitches closer to you. So you could go a little bit deeper, and then opposite side, find the stitch on the opposite side, yarn over and work single crochet. So that's how we are going to work all the way across, creating this last row of single crochet to complete this last row like this. So I am finishing here, and as I work, of course, I'm taking my clips out, and I have few stitches left here like this. And this last row you are creating, it can be on the wrong side or the right side. It doesn't really matter because it's blending in nicely. So it's totally up to you, as you can see. So next, we are going to work on this part here, which will be sitting nicely on your shoulders or as a bucket hat brim. So next, once you're done with your row, last row, you will chain one. As you can see, there is like a gap, but when you open it, it will be much thinner, so it will be easier to work. So in that space there, you will work 2 single crochet. If you want, you can place a stitch marker into this very first one like this, so we know once we go all the way around, this was our very first stitch. Now we will be working 2 single crochet on top of those 2 rows. So you have 1 row here, 1 row here, and on top is a space. Into that space you will be placing 2 single crochet. Okay, so that's first 2 rows here, and on top is the space, so you will place 1 single crochet and 1 more, and we will be working like so all the way around. 2 single crochet on top of those 2 rows like this. So work all the way around. This round of single crochet will be your preparation round like so. So 2 rows like this, there is a space on top right here. Work 2 single crochet, 2 single crochet, 2 single crochet, 2 single crochet, like so all the way around. Once you get to your very first stitch, I show you how to finish it. So I went all the way around. I was placing 2 single crochet on top of those 2 rows, space like so, and I have these 2 rows here, so I will place 2 single crochet. Now where is my stitch marker? That was my very first single crochet. I am going to insert my hook like so and work slip stitch. Now I am going to get ready, and I'm going to chain 3. So we chain 3, but this chain of 3 is not counting as anything. So it's not counting as double crochet. Into the same place, you will place 2 double crochet. so 1 and 1 more into the same place. So that's our very first increase. Increase means 2 double crochet into the same stitch. So place a stitch marker on top of your very first double crochet, like so. Find the next stitch, and into the next stitch you will work 1 double crochet. Into the next stitch you will do increase. So increase means 2 double crochet into the same place, like so. Into the next one, only 1. And you will work like so. So into the next one you will do 2. Into the next one you will do 1, and so on. So you will do 2 1 2 1 2 1, so on, all the way around. So 2 1 2 1 2, and so on. So the next one will be 1, and you will work like so all the way around. Once you get to your start, I show you what to do next. So your first round was single crochet. This second round is increase around. So I went all the way around and I was alternating 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1, like so. Now I have 1 here, so I will do 2 here, 1 single crochet. So wait, I have 1, and then yeah, so I will have 2 into this one here. And then where is my very first double crochet? I will take my stitch marker out and I will insert my hook like so and slip stitch. Now I am going to chain 3 again, but this chain of 3 is not counting as first double crochet. So into the same place I will work 1 double crochet and I will place a stitch marker on top. We are not going to work on increase round. This round 3 will be super easy. You will work 1 double crochet on top of each double crochet all the way around. So I place my very first one, I will find next one, and I will work 1 double crochet all the way around, like so. Super easy around. Okay, so I am finishing this round 3 and I will place my last double crochet right here. Now I am going to slip stitch on top of this very first double crochet. Where is my stitch marker? I will get it out and simply insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, and pull through the loop like so to create slip stitch. Now we are going to chain 3 like so, and so far we have a round of single crochet, 1 round of double crochet increase, and 1 round of double crochet only, and we are going to work 1 more round of double crochet. So this round 4 will be our increase round again. So we chain 3. This chain of 3 is not counting as your double crochet. So we are going to place 2 more double crochet into the same space. So that will be our first increase here, and of course we are going to place our stitch marker on top of this very first double crochet like so. So ignore this chain of 3 and then you have 2 double crochet. Now we are going to do increase, and then we are going to do 1 double crochet into the next 3 stitches. So we will have 2 1 1 1 2 1 1 1, and so on. So this is our 4th round and it's our increase round. So I have 2 double crochet. Now I'm going to place 1 double crochet into the next, 1 double crochet into the next, and 1 double crochet into the next, like so. So increase, and 1 2 and 3 double crochet between my increases. So again I have done increase, and now I am placing 1 double crochet into the next 3 stitches like so. So that's how you are going to work for this round 4 all the way around. Increase, and then 1 1 1, increase, 1 1 1, so on all the way around, like so. So I am finishing this around 4, and it doesn't really matter if you finish on increase or just double crochet. It's totally fine if you finish on increase or just one. It's all good. So I finish on double crochet here, and then I'm going to take my stitch marker out, and I am going to finish this round with the slip stitch like so. Insert your hook on top of this very first double crochet and chain 1, and this round 4 is completed. As you can see, it's looking amazing and the sun is shining, so I took off my lights off. So this round 4 is completed. You can fold it like this for your neck warmer. It's looking amazing. Okay, so this last round is optional. You can just leave it like this. You can add a single crochet round or crab stitch round or slip stitch round. It's totally up to you, but I was experimenting and I decided to go with this stitch. So I am going to find the first stitch here, and I am going to pull this loop higher like so, and I am going to work on slip stitch first like so. Then I'm going to chain 1, and then I am going to find the next stitch, again pull the loop higher, slip stitch and chain 1. Again into the next stitch, pull the loop higher, work slip stitch and chain 1, and you will continue like so all the way around, but it's totally up to you. As I said, you can work slip stitch, you can work single crochet, you can work crab stitch, or you can work on this braided stitch all the way around like so. Slip stitch, chain 1, slip stitch, chain 1, and so on all the way around. So I went all the way around, and I am going to do my very last one here. So slip stitch like so and chain 1. So now I will go a little bit deeper into this very first slip stitch like so, and I will just do slip stitch like so. Oopsie daisy, I lost it. So let's just do it again. So find this very first slip stitch and slip stitch properly, don't lose the loop like I did. Oopsie daisy. Okay, I got it now. So now we are going to chain 1 to complete this last round. Leave the end longer so you can hide it later on, and hide it somewhere on the wrong side. I love to use this yarn needle, so I usually thread it in like this, pull the end through, and one more time so it's nice and secured like this, and all done. So this is our neck warmer completed. This increase around / brim for your bucket hat will sit nicely on your shoulders. This beautiful last row stitch, slip stitching with chain 1 is looking brilliant. So this is all done for our neck warmer. Now I am going to show you how to turn this neck warmer into the bucket hat. So this is all completed. Try it on and you will see how nicely it sits. You can fold it like so as well. And now let's do the top. So we can turn this into a bucket hat. Brilliant 2-in-1 project. So we will work on this part. So first we are going to start with the slip knot, like so, and we are going to work on the very long chain. So the chain should be about 30 to 50 centimeters long, and I'm using 5mm hook again. So chain a very long chain, like so. So my chain will be about 50 centimeters long. So I have completed my chain. I will simply fasten off like this and then just cut the end off like so. Easy peasy long chain. So now I will be using a little bit thinner a yarn hook. So now once you have everything prepared, this is our right side. So now I'm going to turn it the wrong side out like this. So now insert your hook wherever you like and pull this cord or long chain through. So I'm gonna start here where is that last seam we created when we were closing our neck warmer. So just thread it through like this, and then you will be simply threading it inside out like this. Just maybe do small stitches like so. So don't do very big like stitches. It's better to have smaller one, and do it just between those rows on top. If you like, you can place the clip so you won't lose that starting end, and you will be just threading like so all the way around, very close to the edge. So from one side, from inside out like so, and then back again, and try to make it nice and small stitches close to the edge. So I am nearly at the end, as you can see here. Where is my clip? And I have about two, maybe one stitch left here. I can squeeze one more. Where is the thick seam? So I can just go through like this, just to make one last stitch like this. Pull it through. Now take the clip off and try to gather it like this, like so. So when you have it as a neck warmer, the string is still there. You can keep it as a nice decorating string. That's why it's a little bit longer, so you can create a bow. And then when you don't want a neck warmer, you can create a bucket hat. Simply tie a nice bow, and the bow will be inside. So now turn it the right way. There you go. Now we are on the right side, and it's looking amazing. So the wrong side and the right side. Make sure you don't have a gap. And now it's a bucket hat. So amazing 2-in-1. I was on the way to Lake District and I was working on this neck warmer, and I realized it can look amazing as a bucket hat as well. Just make sure you tie that bow completely so you won't have any gap like this. So no gap when you are wearing it as a bucket hat. Make it nice and tight and then tie a bow like this. So super easy neck warmer and bucket hat. 2 in 1. Maybe when you're wearing it as a bucket hat and you don't want a bucket hat anymore, let's just untie the bow and place it on your neck as a neck warmer. Super easy and very, very clever. I love it. It came from nowhere, that idea. And it's also very, very cool looking. Bucket hat and neck warmer. 2 in 1 in a very, very short time. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please don't forget to like it, share it, and of course don't forget to subscribe to my channel You.NECK Stitch Designs, and also don't forget to find me on social medias. I am on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest and TikTok. Thank you very much for watching.